MITCO held a media briefing on the 23rd of June 2020 to sensitize the public on the operationalizing of commodity-based trade protocols for meat products from the Northern Communal Areas. The CBT protocol, or the value chain approach, focus on the certifiable process by which products are produced, rather than geographical origin. In assessing the risk of disease, this offered the potential for export abattoirs in the NCA to export meat products south of the veterinary cordon fence to other international markets such as West Africa that were recently developed. MITCO remains committed to ensure that the NCA is mainstreamed in the Namibian economy and maximizing producer returns sustainably and creating wealth to all livestock producers in Namibia. MITCO acknowledges that there is a producer price disparity paid to the livestock producers south of the veterinary cordon fence and in the NCA. This disparity is influenced by the realization from the markets that differs from those achieved from the abattoirs south of the veterinary cordon fence and that of the NCA. However, through market diversification and demand, MITCO endeavors to improve realization, thereby paying competitive producers for the same quality delivered by the farmers in the NCA.
That is great. It's good news. We welcome the move to open the abattoir in Katima because people have suffered a long way. Since time immemorial, we have been struggling, keeping cattle that we did not know what to use, what to do with them. So now that the abattoir is open, at least people will be relieved. It's a relief, in fact. Economically, it's a relief. Even business will boom because people have money to spend. Because when people spend, that's when the economy can grow, the regional economy can grow, then at least we have something to talk about. The economy was down, people did not have money, especially stock farmers. They did not have money, and there's no way you can sell. There are some shanty abattoirs where you can sell at a very, very low rate per kg, which was very damaging and unwanted and not welcome. So it has affected us so much that, because when you have cattle, at least you can bring some improvements in your life here and there, and then you add value to life. This is high time that we must be prepared economically to participate in the development of the region. So those are the plans. To improve the quality of our animals.
Well, MITCO, to me it means to, what can I say, at least maybe to reduce my expense and also to help me for anything which I need in life. And before it came to be opened, we were very, very affected. I'm feeling it very good, but I'll feel very happy when I'll see the prices paid. But at this moment, I'm feeling okay.
MITCO therefore requests farmers in the NCA to be patient as more viable markets are being developed to improve producer prices through better market returns. Equally, MITCO calls on Namibian consumers to consume the Namibian beef to support the meat value chain in the NCA. MITCO Chief Executive Officer Walima Mushakabanji had this to say.
Very key to this press conference is really how we as MITCO together with the industry have operationalized the concept of commodity-based trade as we thrive towards mainstreaming the northern of the communal area into the mainstream of the economy. Now, the northern communal areas basically is comprised of the Zambezi, Kavango East, Kavango West, Oshikoto, Angwena, Musati, Oshana, and Kunene regions. This particular segment of the Namibian society is a livestock-rich part of Namibia with approximately 1.6 million cattle, representing 64% of the national cattle head, estimated to be 2.5 million. Locally, the NCA has been sourcing livestock, meat and meat products from producers and abattoirs from areas south of the veterinary cordon fence, leaving the producers in the NCA with limited market accessibility. The government of the Republic of Namibia upgraded abattoirs at Katima Mulilo, Rundu, and Nana, Oshakati, and Otapi, as well as constructed the meat processing facility in Ongwendiva to provide market opportunities to the livestock producers in the northern of the communal area. Infrastructure is very critical. It is an enabling in thriving to have access to markets. Stakeholders, in addition, during August 2017, MITCO introduced a mobile slaughter unit to serve as a market for the livestock producers in the northern of the communal area, mainly in Kavango East and Kavango West regions, as well as to supply swinging carcasses and meat products to some retail outlets and customers north of the veterinary cordon fence. In 2017, the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform appointed the operators for the Katima Mulilo, Enana, Otapi, and Oshakati Elolo Abattoir, as well as Ongwendiva Meat Processing Facility, to ensure retain to business and market access for the NCA farmers. Furthermore, Cabinet directed the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, in collaboration with the Meat Board of Namibia, to ensure that MITCO, as per its public policy mandate, operates the Rundu and Katima Mulilo Abattoir, and to further render technical assistance in the operation of the Oshakati Elolo Abattoir. Those are developments that has been taking place. It's very important that we are able to capture the evolution, the metamorphosis of the development pertaining the northern of the communal area. To give you the update, conscious about the background that we have provided, so far MITCO, through a memorandum of understanding with Zambezi Meat Corporation, has been operating the Katima Mulilo Abattoir since 9 June 2021. The upgrading of Rundu Abattoir is nearing completion. Government is in particular driving that. Now, MITCO plays a critical role in the Namibian economy. It plays a role of being a catalyst of change. MITCO, as a commercial public enterprise, is there to make sure that it facilitates wealth creation for the people of this country. Remember, we are not driving the project of driving agriculture for development. We are driving the project of stimulating agriculture for agripreneurship. Now, you can only promote agripreneurship at primary production level when farmers are assured of having access to market. And that market should basically maximize retain for the producers, so that ultimately you can stimulate the appetite of farmers to become agripreneurs. And MITCO is extremely concerned about that, and that is what we keep on attempting to address, so that way you are able to transition from traditional agriculture, where farmers want to keep cattle as pets, but farmers should rather keep cattle for agripreneurship. And that's what we would want to see as MITCO. In view of MITCO's legal mandate to promote, serve, and coordinate the interests of producers in Namibia and strive for the stabilization of the meat industry in the national interest, the MITCO Board of Directors in 2017 instructed MITCO management to develop a feasible, competitive, and profitable strategy that will mainstream the livestock sector in the NCA into the Namibian economy. As a result, the MITCO NCA strategy was approved by the MITCO Board of Directors in 2019. In 2020, a MITCO NCA subsidiary was established. Conscious about the past, there were attempts for us to operate abattoirs in the NCA. But this time we wanted to make sure that an institution called the Northern of the Communal Area subsidiary is established with its staff, basically to drive transformation in the northern of the communal area. I mean, this particular segment of the Namibian society is a host to 64% of our livestock industry. So we want to unlock that potential economy which is sitting there. And as MITCO, we are very conscious of the fact that if we unlock that particular market and be able to agro-process and export these products, automatically we'll be beefing up in terms of contribution to employment creation, shrinking Namibia's wealth gap, as well as basically alleviating poverty. Agriculture is critical, and it remains a key component of the Namibian economy. So the NCA subsidiary was established specifically to make sure that it drives primary production in the northern of the communal area, it drives agro-processing, and it drives accessibility to market. We wanted to make sure that we use an institutional approach to address this. Now, fellow stakeholders, it is critical to say that in order to open up market accessibility for the products from the northern of the communal area, we had to apply what we call commodity-based trade. Now, we have got the representation from the Ministry of Agriculture, the head of DVS, Dr. Shilongo. She'll be able to answer some of your questions in respect of this. Now, in respect of international trade, in livestock, meat and meat products, there are diseases of economic importance. And this is very, very important because some of the populace in the country are asking, how is it possible that Meatco is able to transport beef and beef products from the northern of the communal area to the south and ultimately to Ghana? We need to make sure that we clarify under what protocols are we doing this without destabilizing the current access to market that we have both in advanced and emerging economy, that is Asia, Europe, and the USA. Now, we have got, for example, foot and mouth disease and lung sickness. With respect to FMD, Namibia has 3 animal disease control zones that are recognized by the World Organization for Animal Health, namely the FMD-free zone covering the area south of the veterinary cordon fence, the FMD protection zone covering Kunene North up until Ndiona constituents in the Kavango East regions, and the FMD infected zone covering Mukwe constituents in the Kavango East region and the entire Zambezi region. Now, specifically, the Katima Mulilo Abattoir is situated in the FMD infected zone. This is very, very important. An area that is endemic to FMD due to the presence of free roaming buffaloes that are known to be reservoirs of FMD viruses. The prevalence of FMD in the NCA leads to livestock movement restrictions and marketing constraints of beef produced by export certified abattoirs in the FMD protection and FMD infected zones of Namibia, and resultantly have rendered abattoir operations in the NCA to experience increasing fixed costs and negative cash flow challenges. Now, we needed to introduce commodity-based trade to make sure that this is addressed. Now, in the quest to ensure marketability of the livestock, meat and meat products from the NCA, the Directorate of Veterinary Services developed standard operating procedures in accordance with the scientifically based ORE recommendations to allow for the safe trade of deboned and matured beef products from the FMD protection and FMD infected zones of Namibia to countries or zones that may be declared FMD free, including the area south of the VCF in Namibia. In line with these standards, operating procedures, DVS as a competent authority on the animal health in Namibia conducted a study in 2014 in the Zambezi region that basically led to the adoption of the value chain approach by the OIE. This allowed for the development of procedures commonly known as the commodity-based trade protocol that allows for safe trade of meat and beef products produced from the FMD infected zones, protection zones into market in the FMD-free zones, and countries accepting importation of such certified products. Now, the CBT protocol was approved by the ministry in October 2019 for implementation.
The event was attended by the Chief Veterinarian Officer of DVS, Dr. Albertina Shilongo, Merco representative Mr. Aldo Kayamo, and they gave a few remarks on the milestone.
Meat or beef that is produced at the abattoir that are approved by the Directorate of Veterinary Services in the Northern Communal Area is safe in terms of foot and mouth disease, safe for trading in the market south of the veterinary cordon fence, and also to country, exported to country that accept beef compliant with commodity-based trade. So that is all, and we look forward to getting more market apart from Ghana. I'm sure the marketing managers of Meatco will work very hard to find new markets together with DBS. DBS is there to negotiate for sanitary measures for compliance with the import requirement of countries that want to import our beef. I just want to add also that commodity-based, one of the components of commodity-based trade is also processing of meat. In case of when there is an outbreak, for example in Zambezi, the meat can also, animal can be slaughtered, the meat can be processed. It's only that at the moment we don't have a processing plant yet, but the ministry is in the process of establishing a a meat processing plant in Zambezi, so that we can also facilitate marketing of beef from there, which is cooked to inactivate the FMD virus even when there's an outbreak going on, so that the abattoir operation can continue. Yeah. With regard to own consumption, people can also cook their meat. If you want to bring a piece of meat to south of the Veterinary Code of Fence, you can cook your meat and bring it for your own consumption. It's allowed. Because people are saying, no, we don't allow meat coming from the north. You can heat, you can cook your meat. The temperature that is required is just 70 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes, and then you can bring your meat to consume it at your home in south of the Veterinary Code of Fence. So those are measures that are put in place to just make sure that we don't introduce foot-and-mouth disease virus into the FMD-free zone, so that we can continue maintaining market access for the Namibian beef and other animal products in the world. That's all I wanted to add. Thank you.
In terms of economic diplomacy, we'll continue to assess MIRCO in terms of market access. All our missions abroad stand ready to assist MIRCO. We have done so in Europe, we have done so in China, we have done so in the US, and recently in Ghana. And all the markets where MIRCO needs our help, we will continue to assist. It's a process that we continue to engage. We continue to ensure that we also, whenever we have our VIP visitors coming, we expose them to to MIRCO. And I think that is our role, really, economic diplomacy. Thank you.